You guys seem to enjoy the micro builds video where I showed you how to build little things like the flower planters, the apiaries, and a cozy bed to fill your kingdoms with. So in this video we're going to do something similar. We're going to construct 2 different gazebos step by step that you can add to your worlds. These would be great as a resting spot off path, a backyard haven, or even a party spot with your friends. Let's get on with it. Alright, we're going to begin with the octagonal gazebo. The building blocks we're going to need for this are the palmwood block, the refined stone block, stone shingle roof block, ivy, and climbing rose. Now I have about a stack of these. You're not going to need nowhere near that much. Other pieces we're going to need are the rustic window frames, then some decorative pieces. I also have a clay jug, clay teacup, coffee cup, and small flask. I got some flowers, some lighting. We're going to need a small silver brazier, some candles, a prison fence, and chandelier. And with the chandelier, you could use whatever you like. These are just the ones that I'm going to use for this build. Then we're going to need a stone bench and some carpet. The scaffolding is optional to make things easier, but you could also just place building blocks to get yourself where you need to be. We're also going to need our hammer and our overgrowth tool. All right, let's get started. Starting with our refined stone block, we're just going to make an octagon on the floor 1 block high. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then diagonal from that. I'm going to do 4, and then diagonal from that, we're going to do 5. We're going to repeat that until they connect. Just like that, and then fill it all in. Once we've got that done, let's just outline it with our palm wood. Now on each of these straight pieces, we're going to place 2 refined stone in the corners just like that. Okay, now we're going to raise each of these with our palm wood by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, once we got those up, we're going to jump on top here, and we're going to connect this ring all the way around. These are just temporary blocks. They'll be getting deleted, so you can use whatever you want for this. Generally, I like to use a block that's different from what I'm building with so that I can easily see what needs to be deleted later. But I forgot to mention that you need temporary blocks. So we're just going to roll with this palm wood here. It's not a big deal. We'll make it happen. There we go. Now we're going to grab our roof block, and we're just going to place these on top of that ring that we just put down. And after that, we're going to jump down and we're going to place the roof blocks on the face of the ring as well. Then we're going to jump back up and we're going to switch back to our palm wood. And we're going to attach this to the roof pieces that we just laid. And then again, cover that with your roof block. Now you can come down here and you can delete both those rings that we placed. There we go. We could jump back on top. Once again, same thing. I should also mention too that if you don't like the way this undercoat looks here and you prefer to leave those rings intact, that's fine too. It's just a matter of what you like and what you prefer. Me personally, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these and let that underbelly of the roof show. All right, for the final time here, we're going to place our palm wood. And this, you want to use the palm wood, not a temporary block, because this will be staying. Okay, now we're going to grab our rustic window frames, bring these down and turn on snapping. We're going to rotate it and we're going to make sure that these are placed in the center and they're going to overlap each other by 1, just like that. We want to do this on all of the flat sides. Just like that. I'm going to take snapping off, turn on fine-tune rotation. We're going to spin this around. We're going to get it to where it overlaps the one next to it, just like that. And on this side. Once you get that done, we're going to jump back up top here. And the palm wood, we're going to place on top and then back one, then delete that one. And it should be 5 wide. Then we're going to grab our roof block and we're going to place it on top of those. And we're going to hop down and place one on the face of this as well. And don't forget this corner here. Back to our palm wood. I'm going to go behind those roof blocks. One more time with your roof. And then we're going to fill all this in with palm wood. Back to your roof block and fill that in. And once you get here to this little point, what we're going to do is we're going to come off by one here, 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 and here. After you get those 4, we're going to do 2 stacked in the center, just like that. And you should end up with a peak that looks like this. Cool. So now something I forgot to mention is a light block of some sort. Whatever color is up to you. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab yellow. With our light block, we're going to come down here. We're going to outline this ring that we left in place earlier. Back to our palm wood, and we're going to trim this thing out. And this right here is just going to ease those connections. Cool. And this is what you should have so far. But moving on, we're going to grab our rustic window frame and we're going to turn snapping on. And in between your stone blocks on every flat side, we're going to stagger the pattern. So we'll start on the left here and then we'll clip this through on the right. And then we're going to flip it and clip it through on the left like that. Okay. And now we're going to do it on all 4 of the flat sides. Now over there, I did left side clip. So this time I'm going to do right side clip. And then flip. And then you should end up with a pattern that looks like that. Okay, next we're going to add the fire pit and our chandelier. So we'll bring those things down. For the chandelier, we're going to grab this prison fence and we're going to turn snapping off. That way we can get this thing centered where we want, right about there. Then we're going to turn on fine-tune position and we're going to drop this thing down as far as it'll go. Right there. And that should not stick out of the top. Then we're going to grab our chandelier. We're going to attach it to that. This might take a couple of tries because it's a little difficult to see. Looks like I got it. Cool. Next for the fire pit. We want this thing to be centralized. So I'm going to find the center point here. I'm going to place that down as a reference point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my hammer. I'm going to see what blocks need to be deleted. So it looks like those 3. So now we know it's a 3x3 block that needs to be cleared. Just like that. Switching back to our fire pit, we're going to drop this thing into the ground. Now, you can leave it like that if you want, but if you don't like these connections, a fix for that would be to eliminate these outer blocks as well, and then trim it with something else. Maybe a different stone variant, maybe your palm wood, it's really up to you. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a different type of stone. I think that'll look the best. I'm going to give the city wall block a try. Yeah, I think that works just fine. And then I'm going to grab my benches. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put them on all of the flat sides except for the front. So if this is the front here and I want these to be the main 2 entrances, I'm going to place them here, here, and here. There. And you can leave it like that. Or if you want, you can come in with your refined stone block, the same block here, and you can attach it to the bottom there, allowing it to snap through that bench. Just like that. And that's how I'm going to do mine. I think that gives a cool look. Now we're going to grab our carpets and we're going to push these things under each of the benches pretty much as far as it can go. And we're also going to make sure they're centered, just like that. Boom, bam. Okay, now for your decorative pieces. Now I'm just going to decorate this to where it makes sense. Maybe a coffee mug by where you would sit, a tea kettle down by the fire, a couple of teacups over here as well, maybe a wall flower pot right there. I'm going to leave it at that for the sake of this tutorial, but you could do this however you'd like. I'm going to grab my overgrowth tool and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to pepper some around this thing, and you can mix it up between the climbing rose and the ivy. Just kind of decorate this to your choosing. And when you do this, don't forget to throw some on the ground out here too. This also gives a cool look. You can also come up top here and lay it on this ring that we placed earlier. So I'm across the top here. And something else you can do too is grab these crude benches, or any benches if you're choosing really, and lower them down a little bit and place them there to create a step up into it. Completely optional, it works either way. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. And there you go. That's the first gazebo. Okay, for this next one, it's going to be square instead of octagonal. It's also going to have a cooking station inside of it, kind of like an outdoor kitchen, but also a place to sit, relax, enjoy a coffee or tea. So what you're going to need for this is some regular stone block, fancy stone block, refined wood block, conifer wood block, a light block of your choice. I'm going to go with green on this one. You need your ivy, your climbing rose, some rustic wood frames. I have almost 2 stacks here. I'm going to need 2 crude benches, 2 normal benches, some flowers of your choosing, 2 ovens, 2 boreal wood side tables, some cast iron pots and pans, some dishes, a couple of rugs of your choosing. I got these 2 here to see which one I'm going to want more, some candles, and some decorative pieces. You're also going to need 6 wall tapestry showcases, and then obviously your hammer and overgrowth tool. That's a huge list, but let's get started. All right, to start, we're going to want our regular stone block. We're going to come across by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to go 7 deep. And then go ahead and fill in all of that. And whatever side you choose to be the front, add 1 to the ends, just like that. And we'll grab that refined wood and we're going to do a 2x2 block here that is 3 high. Now we're going to get our fancy stone and we're going to outline this. And this too will be 3 high. Okay, now on these columns here, we're going to go to the back inner one and we're going to build up by 6. And then on the back side, we're only going to come up by 5. So it should look like that. All right, once you got that, we're going to get your light block. I'm going to come up to the top. We're going to place this all the way across here. Once that's done, get your conifer wood block, and we're just going to outline your light blocks. And with the fancy stone block, you should end up with this crown and trim at the top here, which looks really cool. Okay, now we're going to come back over here. And you can use whatever you want, but we're going to bring this all the way across here. Just like that. And we're going to go 2 wide. And then we're going to go up 1. And that too will be 2 wide. After that, up 1 more. You guessed it, 2 wide. And now I'm going to get my scaffolding and I'm going to place a row back here so I can see those blocks that we just placed. We're going to grab our wall tapestry showcases and we're going to bring these down. And what we're going to do here is we're going to find our center point about there, just like that. And then, you know what? To make this easier for me, I'm going to use a different block, and they're just markers. Now we're going to grab our wall tapestry showcase, and what we're going to do is we're trying to get the trim just on the other side of that center point there. We're going to turn on fine-tune rotation and we're going to dump this thing forward, trying to follow the pitch of those blocks that we just placed. just like that. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna make sure that the trim is just over that halfway point. Just like that. Now coming up here, same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two trims and I'm going to overlap them. Just like that. And same on this side. And just know this may take a couple of tries to get everything in line. And it looks like I got that one on the first try. I'm totally okay with that. All right, now coming down here to the front, we're gonna dump this the other way. And we're gonna do this at a little bit more of a dramatic angle. See how it's not the same exact pitch? We want it to come down just a little bit more drastically. We're gonna come up here and we're just going to line it up with this edge. And it looks like I'm not able to get it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place another row of conifer wood block up here, right over the light. Now we're gonna do fine tune rotation. Dump it forward. And this angle's up to you. I wouldn't do it super dramatic like that. I would probably do it just a little less and try and line up your edges on the sides and then your peaks at the top. I overlapped a little bit there. We don't want that. I'm gonna pick this thing up and try again. That should get us. Fine tune rotation, dump it back. Perfect, just like that. We'll get this other one on there as well. Now I'm looking at the peak up here to get this thing lined up. I'm also looking at this edge right here. There we go. Now you can grab your hammer and you can delete those temporary blocks from earlier. You should end up with something that looks like this. Okay, now we're gonna grab our regular stone block and I wanna come here in the center. I'm gonna place those down just like that. So planning for the future here, we're gonna go ahead and grab one of these cast iron pots. We're going to place it right here in the center. Now we're going to turn on fine tune position and I'm going to raise this up by 4 clicks. Just like that. Now we're going to grab our ovens and we're going to place these down. So pull out your hammer, go ahead and delete those 2 blocks there. Then get your oven. And what we want here is we want the face of the oven lined up with the wall. Just like that. It should pop out just a little bit on the back. After the oven's placed, we're going to come down here and we're going to delete these 2. And we're going to grab our other oven, fine tune rotation, and we're going to drop this in as low as we can get it. There. Coming back around to the front, we're going to get our fancy stone block and we're going to outline this oven. Just like that. And then we're going to come to the back and we're going to come out by 1 block. And then we're going to bring that all the way up to the top. Just like that. You should have this cool little design on the back here. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to get rid of these 2 and replace it with a fancy stone. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so next we're going to grab our rustic wood frames. We're going to bring these down and turn snapping on. I'm going to connect here and here. And we're going to bring this all the way across the top, just like that. We're going to fill it all in. Neat. Now we're going to come to the side here. We're going to temporarily alter this to get this next part to work. We're going to get rid of the top 2 here. And then coming back, we're going to place 2 blocks down like this on both sides. Okay, so delete, delete, block, block. Now we're going to grab our rustic window frames again. I'm going to turn on fine tune rotation and we're going to tilt this thing to match the pitch of the roof. Now we're going to make sure it's centered on this pillar. Right about there. Just like that on both sides. Now we can get rid of those temporary blocks. We can come back in here with our conifer wood and our fancy stone and fill that back in. We're almost to decorating here, but one thing I forgot to do, and it doesn't really matter because we can just do it now, is we're going to come back here and place these around just like that. 3 high. There we go. Easy fix. We should have something that looks like this so far. Now, those little points at the top from the frames poking through, you can hide those pretty easily with moss or foliage, kind of like some overgrowth. And we'll do that towards the end. Okay, so now we're going to grab our 2 Boreal wood tables. We're going to turn snapping on. Since we built this thing on the grid, this should be pretty easy to do. I'm going to put one there and one there. Okay, and then we're going to grab our benches, and I'm going to turn snapping off. And we're going to put this right up against the wall, just barely touching the table, and just fit it right in there. And same on the other side. Just like that. Okay, now it's time to decorate. And obviously, this is all on you on how you want to do it. I'm going to grab my dishes here, grab my rugs, a couple of bags, some candles, some jars, a barrel, and I'm just going to take my rug and I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to put it right here in front of this. I'm going to grab the bag and I think I'll place it here. We'll put a candle there, there, and maybe one more back here, just like that. We could put one up front here if we like, fine-tune position and bring it on up. There we go. Yep, looks good. Some jars. I'm going to place these on the back here on this ledge. Almost like seasonings for when they're cooking out here. I'm going to put a little pan down here on the lip of the oven. And it looks like to get the pan to work, we're going to have to place some temporary blocks. Boom. Okay, get rid of those. Get a few mugs placed. A couple of bowls, maybe a plate. Grab another one of these pots and place that one there, and some plants. Okay, then we're going to grab our crude bench, and just like we did on the other one, we're going to come over here and we're going to bury that left side inside of that block. Fine-tune position, and we're going to drop this thing to split the difference. Perfect. Okay, with your overgrowth tool, now you can come in here and just add some growth to it. However you like, whatever you think looks good. When I do pillars, I like to start at the top and then kind of wrap my way down. I think that looks cool. Maybe a little out here on the floor, a little bit down here. You can even come on the inside here. Across the top, down the pillar. You can get as crazy as you want with this. You could throw a bunch on here. You could do just a little bit. It's really up to you. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, now I'm going to grab a barrel. I'm going to put one out here. And maybe one back here too, just like that. Now let's get some moss and hide those corners at the top. I'm just going to tuck some up in here and on this side too. You can come down and around a little bit. Same on this side, just place a little coming down. Okay, maybe even some on the bottom too. You want it to make sense, right? You don't want moss just on the top, because then it's kind of obvious that we're trying to hide something. You can even do hedges around this thing as well. And if you have this set up in like a backyard or tucked away in some trees or something, it would look really cool. And there you go. There's another little outdoor gazebo just to hang out at. Sit down, have a coffee, or maybe some tea. These were fun to design because they're simple and inexpensive to make, and they'll go great in almost any setting. I hope you all enjoyed these, and if you want more step-by-step guides in the future, just let me know. I've started a Discord for the channel where we can chat and share pictures of each other's builds. If that sounds like a good time, then stop by and upload your builds. I'd love to check them out. The link will be in the description. Thank you for hanging out with me for a bit, and take care. just like that. Place 2 refined stone in the corners, just like that, just like that, just like that. We're gonna get it to where it overlaps the one next to it, just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that. And we're also gonna make sure they're centered, just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that. And same on this side. Perfect, just like that. I'm gonna place those down just like that, 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 just like that. We're going to fill it all in, just like that on both sides. Just like that. There, and maybe one more back here, just like that. And maybe one back here too, just like that.